I'm talking to you, so come on. Shout!
Good morning, everybody. 18 minutes after the hour. Welcome to the Sunrise Show. Craig Froelich in as your host. And on the phone with us is Mary Emerick. She's the PIO, the Information Officer for the Josephine County Oath Keepers. Their website, oathkeepersjoco.com. And just yesterday, there was announcement of a stay from the lands appeal. And this judge, and so it's now I don't know, Mary. First off, thank you for being on the program this morning. It's been a wild ride, huh?
It certainly has, and yesterday was one as well.
So we haven't seen documentation. It's happened too fast, but we have word, right, from the Interior Board of Land Appeals that this stay will actually, and it's they received word of a stay, but we not seen paperwork. So it just takes time for the filing and the paperwork to come through?
Well, actually, I first heard about it when someone from the media called me, because apparently the BLM sent it out to media sources first. And then Sheriff Daniel met with the coordinator of Oath Keepers, Joseph Rice,
okay,
to show him the document. So I've seen a photocopy they took of that document. The concern was that the document hadn't made it to the miners or the miners' attorney at that point. So it was sort of strange how it got out from the BLM.
Yeah. Why would, at this point, Joseph Rice, there, and the Oath Keepers, you're all volunteer, under the request of the mine owners for the Sugar Pine Mine. Why would Sheriff Dave Daniel go right to Joseph, who's the leader of the Oath Keepers for Josephine County, rather than going right to the mine owners?
Well, I couldn't answer that, to be honest with you, but basically he presented the paperwork, and I don't even think it was, a certified copy or anything. It was just a copy.
Interesting. So I wonder if he was on the trip, he was going to just stop to see Joseph and then go on to the miners, but we haven't heard from the mine owners at this point?
Well, we have heard from the mine owners, and okay. It is the real deal. But actually the sheriff met with Joseph Rice at a coffee shop in town.
Okay, so he saved himself a trip, so then Joseph at this point would ferry the information out. Was he given a copy so he could show the mine owners? That's so odd.
It is a little odd, and I can't fill in quite all of the details. They took a camera picture of the document and sent it to me, but with the caveat that it needed to be vetted because the miners and the attorney didn't have it yet.
I wonder if the BLM is mailing a copy, regular mail, to the mine owners. You wonder if that's how the process works.
Well, if it were me, I would hope that I'd get it first.
Yeah, well, that's my point. I'm just kind of wondering how the document, the paper trail, very odd. The whole thing is odd. But anyway, back to this. So this judge of the Interior Board of Land Appeals, in the case of the BLM versus Sugar Pine Mine, has issued a stay, and that's it at this point. But no time frame for any type of court date. Correct?
That's correct.
Interesting. Okay, so at this point,
it just says that BLM won't do anything, and the miners are not allowed to work their claim, by the way.
Yeah, that's another weird thing, which, I guess you kind of meet in the middle, but ultimately when you look right at it, whose rights are being violated, and they're being told they can't work, so they aren't earning a living. So it's almost a standoff. So what if the BLM drags this out for 90 days? The miners have no work. The miners have no income. You're scratching your head thinking, is this fair?
Well, that's always been part of the process, and you do have to question that, and that's really why the miners have needed help with their legal fund, and so people can still do that for the miners because they will be out of work for quite a while.
This is an earning situation, and you still have rights being affected. So we're speaking with Mary Emerick. She's the Public Information Officer for the Josephine Oath Keepers. Their website, oathkeepersjoco.com. And interesting, you have the stand-down order, and at this point, you're going to kind of dismantle as far as your crew up there at the Sugar Pine Mine, even though it says you're going to leave a little bit of, infrastructure in case you need to remobilize. But there's other things going on. Now you've got someone that has faked let's talk about this, Kevin Patrick Preuss, or whatever his name is, Preusse. Let's talk about this because he's now portrayed himself as raising funds for Josephine County Oath Keepers, but yet the money didn't go anywhere but his pocket.
That's correct. He actually is accused of taking the money from the miners' fund. It was a GoFundMe account. So he's not a nice man, as it turns out.
Wow, a scammer. So have we got official charges at this point for these funds that have been stolen?
The funds are being tracked. They need to find Kevin, and then we'll see what charges are placed. But that's all been taken care of as far as knowing what happened and where it happened.
Exactly, because, the miners at this point would file charges, but this would have happened because he walked into a counter up in Portland. Let's talk about that a little bit more. We've got Mary Emerick on the phone with us. She's the Public Information Officer for Josephine County Oath Keepers, and, she's been handling the information related to this Sugar Pine Mine, but we've got a break coming up, so let's do that. Mary, you can stay with us for a few minutes?
Absolutely.
Okay, good deal. The Bloomberg Market Update is next. You're on the Sunrise Show on News Radio 880 KCMX. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 35 minutes after the hour, it's the Sunrise Show on News Radio 880 KCMX. I'm Craig Froelich, your host, and thrilled to continue with Mary Emerick. She's the Public Information Officer for Josephine County Oath Keepers. Josephine County Oath Keepers, and it's oathkeepersjoco.com is the website. And Mary, it's great to have you on this morning. Interesting that this judge from the land appeals, I'm not saying that right. It's the Interior Board of Land Appeals, and the paperwork has come down. The miners now have it in their possession. It doesn't really give a time frame as far as when they'd get their day in court, though, correct?
That's right. They're two separate things. The stay that was requested and then a court date. So we're still waiting on other things, plus the FOIA request.
Exactly right. And I know you've gotten a couple of the 14 that they've been requested, and it would be really great to have this judge, further that of saying, okay, realizing that these citizens, their right to work is now gone because their negotiation is we won't access the mine if you won't access our claim, and the Oath Keepers can kind of stand down. You did mention, though, Mary, that even though it won't be an active site, there are other issues. You're quite busy, and so you can still take donations, right, and still working on other issues going on.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, we've just pulled back to our staging area, so we will need donations to feed people and supply them and we can still use volunteers, but basically we're in a stand-down mode and watching the situation.
Yeah, it's the next thing is, and you've always, like I said, you've always pushed this professional situation. You're there as volunteers at the bequest of the owners of the Sugar Pine Mine, and just basically standing guard. And if you have a sign that says no trespassing, you were there to enforce that sign, right?
Well, that's right. Just think of it in terms of your own home. If somebody came in and said, well, I don't care if you have a court date or you're waiting for the courts to do something, I'm going to take all your stuff and burn your house down. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be too happy with that situation.
No, not at all. And it's the same exact if you have, ranchers and farmers, they have this posted no trespassing. That's exactly what that means, posted no trespassing. And, people have never, most law-abiding citizens look at that and go, oh, okay, and they keep on moving. But but for the folks that challenge those posted no trespassing signs, folks have never played out what happens if you go ahead and climb the fence, right?
Well, and we have laws in place. If you're law enforcement coming in, you should have court paperwork. You should have basically permission to be there from the court, not just go into the land because you want to.
Exactly. And that's, major protected under the Fourth Amendment. And it's so interesting. And the NSA, I don't want to get off into the weeds here, but, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized, period. That's Amendment 4, and we have to fight for these. And, of course, the Oath Keepers do that so well, and, constitutionalists, patriots, all the like. And I just appreciate all the efforts, Mary, that you and the crew, the Josephine County Oath Keepers have put up. So,
thank you. I think we're going to celebrate a little bit. We have 2 floats in the Boatnik Parade, and we need a little relaxing time.
Kind of a stand-down thing. Well, you get some support there, so that'll be great. Mary, we're a little bit out of time here, but it's great to have you on. We've been following along with the Sugar Pine Mine right when it started, and we're happy to see that this particular little step in the right direction, this stand down and this stay issued by the judge from the Interior Board of Land Appeals, and we'll be following along. We're also following along on this reward offered for Kevin Patrick Prius, who faked being one of you and did a GoFundMe account and then ended up defrauding the Sugar Pine Mine owners with the money. So that's on your website, oathkeepersjoco.com.
That's right. We're not too happy with him, so we'd like to find him.
Exactly. All right, good deal. Well, Mary, thank you again, and please stay in touch with what's going on, and we'll be following along, and I just appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks, Mary. Bye-bye. We'll be back. More on the Sunrise Show as we continue. Hope your day is going great. It's 61 degrees out.